All right, everybody, it's Adam and Mike with Just the Tips, podcast number 41 again.
41 again. Sorry about last one. We were all amped up.
You sure we didn't do 40?
I'm sure.
All right, we went from 39 to 41. This is 41 again.
Now we're back to 41.
Exactly. This is early on in our career.
Should we make it 40?
Should we there you go. So this is 40.
No.
41. So officially 41. But guys, we're having a beautiful evening out here at the Wiltwyck.
I'm going to apologize for road noise. We're on the back nine again here at Wiltwyck, so I'll try to fix it in post.
There you go. And before we get going too far, let's thank our sponsors, Back Nine Clean. I think they're number one at this point.
Oh, dude. I think all of our sponsors are doing a great job. We can't thank you guys enough. Sundog, Back Nine Cleaners, Shaft Wraps, it's all. Yeah. 2024 has been awesome, dude.
Yeah. So new to Just the Tips, check out our LinkedIn profile as we search for corporate product partners.
He's excited about it because he did something.
But again, if you're a aspiring sponsor of Just the Tips, if you're a co-creator, if you're looking for employment, hit us up on LinkedIn and just look for Just Tips Golf. But today is a special day. You did a post during the week. Our Tuesday tip was about reading greens.
Yeah. And you kind of got into this you fell into this theme of doing everything in 4 steps.
Yeah.
Are you mic'd up? You good?
I am. I'm looking at if you are. Yours is red. Mine's red on that side.
I think we're good. Let me check. No, we're good.
You're good. Okay.
Take 2.
Yep.
No. Reading greens is not as simple as 4 easy steps to explain to the general golf public. We did want to make a little Tuesday tip about it on how we do it. We've been playing golf together for 2 years now, and I've caddied for Adam a bunch of times to where I know how he likes his greens read. And to us, it's, I don't know, maybe not 4 steps, but, maybe.
Yeah, but it's efficient to the point where, if I step up to the green, I'm looking for a couple of key indicators.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm not playing, an amateur tournament, if I'm playing a Thursday night round or, we're just banging it around, I can get a good, clean read on the green that makes me feel comfortable that I can make a good effort at the putt in 4 easy steps.
Yeah, I think for me, reading a green for you or even for myself, I think it's probably about 10 steps.
Yeah.
And that's what this podcast is going to be about. And we're going to talk about the different ways to articulate, so I caddied for 7 years. So, you get a guy who he kind of visualizes it a certain way.
So let me just back up a second because you make a good point. You caddied for 7 years straight, full-time job. I played a lot of amateur golf. But yet I was never a good reader of the greens. You are, and always have been, a great reader of the greens. What do you attribute that to? Is it experience? Is it just good eyes? Is it great imagination? What makes a person a good green reader?
It's funny you say that because you threw imagination in there, and I definitely think that is like a really good extra part of reading a green. I think it's definitely experience. But it's also knowing a golfer. I know how I putt because it's me.
Yep.
I've learned how you putt. And, reading a green for some random, it's not the easiest way. So, you kind of go to the putting green with a group that you're about to caddy for. You kind of, keep your eye on how they're putting and stuff like that. And then the imagination is definitely a key component in there as well.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot goes into it. I know for me to be an effective putter, if I'm grinding, if I'm trying to make every putt, it does take a good 90 seconds to read a putt. If I don't go to the other side or 3-side a putt, front, back, and sideways.
Well, that just means if you can't read it from, and it is important to read it from at least 2 sides. If I can't read it from 2 sides, then I have to take another 30 seconds. Yep. From a different angle or whatever.
And there's other variables too. What type of grass it is. Does it have grain? Yeah. What's the sunlight situation like? Is it low light? Is it morning where it's wet? Yeah. We talked about that, and about how real fast greens can be affected by real hard wind, but how much? Yeah. So there's a lot of variables to go in. But I think the key component before we cut to some greens out here today and kind of walk you through our process is, keep in mind that the cup is 4 1/4 inches wide, which means that there's a window from where your ball is to where the cup is that's 4 1/4 inches wide, that as long as it rides somewhere in that track, it'll go in the hole.
Generally speaking. So I think you said it to me a couple months ago, and I think somebody had said it to you, is think about rolling a roll of toilet paper down towards that. And if you just stay on that track or maybe just inside those edges, you got a good chance of the So
putt.
instead of like picking that like pinpoint line, think of that general width of inside the edges.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that today too, about like right edge, left edge, and cup out and all those things. So.
Yeah, I think especially if you're collaborating with a partner, especially with a caddy, having the vocabulary to explain what you're trying to do. I liken it to when I was a kid, I'd go get my hair cut, but I didn't have the vocabulary to tell the barber how to cut your hair. I didn't know what a fade was or an edge up or any of those things. So, you know, the question kind of, is you get what you get. But if you have this vocabulary we're going to give you, you can explain to your partner, you can explain to a caddy, you can explain to an opponent, if you have to, what you're trying to accomplish.
Well, and that's another key component. You can go ahead. Oh, hey, what's up?
Ed, what's happening?
I think that's another key component to reading a green for someone else, is being able to communicate the idea of where you want that ball to roll in the way that you can visualize it.
Yeah.
You know, and if you can't, like if I feel like we're kind of not on the same exact page, like I'll try to like, over top of the line, I'll be like, listen, I want you to kind of ride it right through here and then help you visualize that line and see that it's going to drop that way.
Yep. So we're going to give you a bunch of different techniques just by knocking it on the greens and reading the putts. So like I said, coming at you, hopefully we have a few putts for birdie, a couple of putts for eagles. We'll see how it goes. So here we go. So like I said, there's a lot of different ways to read a green. This is my particular process. I got a little 15-footer here. The first thing I do is take a look and see which way the cup is leaning, right? That gives me my first indication as to where the break is. So if you can see, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but the cup is definitely tilted like this, right? The second thing I look at from behind the cup.
Whoa.
What?
The cup is tilted like this.
Forward, but left to right. I'm going left to right
you
first.
think so?
Take a look.
See if you don't think that's tilted this way?
No. Nope.
That's because you got one shoe on.
Because here's your secondary indicator, though. All right. Take a look at the entire green, right? Big high hill up here. The whole hill is coming down, so the whole thing's on an angle. If we're standing here on an angle, sometimes you get the false feeling that you're flat. Mike's right. It does go up. We're kind of in the bottom of a taco here. But this is still, I can see the cup's leaning.
Ooh,
now, Mike's also right. It's leaning back towards me. I can see from here, I can see the white of the inside of the cup, which lets me know that this is an uphill putt, right? Now the question just is how much left to right, how much uphill? This is where I get down behind the ball and I really kind of study it. And Mike taught me this, that you're looking for a vision, that if I rolled this ball straight, where would it end up?
Exactly.
And if I went straight at the cup right now, I feel like it'd be 2 cups out on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I would say that. Like I could picture it like trickling like over to here.
Right.
So the simplest way to be is, aim this far on this side.
Right.
Right. And then you're taking speed and pace into play, uphill, all that. Uphill, you got to hit a little harder. It's going to break a little less.
So we'll talk about that in a second, because if you guys have seen other videos where pace is obviously important on a breaking putt, right? I play the ball to die, to just leak over the edge and fall in, but I have plenty of putts that come up short. I know Mike, a lot of other players play for the ball to finish 18 inches, even 2 feet behind the hole, and they're playing it to take some of the break out, but every once in a while they hit it too hard, and now they got a 4-footer coming back.
Yeah.
So I'm going to play this one like it's 2 cups outside. I'm looking for a middle mark.
So
you got something?
There's a couple ways to do that. You and me caddying for you, I'll pick like a 2 cups. So this is like 1 cup here. So then this is 2 cup, and then I'll look on that line about anywhere between 1/4 to 3/4 or somewhere in between of something for you to get that ball started on that line or, you know, off of. So scoot out of the way so they can see you on camera. Yep. There's this little leaf here. I would say probably just inside that.
Yep. So one of the things is too is know yourself, and I know that I tend to push
or just get a better putting stroke,
left to right putts. So I usually just give it a smidge more.
I would say, and we should talk about that too, about like what a cup inside means, or a cup outside and a ball outside, or inside left edge.
So then I get up over the ball and take a look and get another good feel. And like I said, it feels pretty good. I'm not sure it's going to break that much standing over the ball.
Break that much.
I think it's a little thinner.
I think if you drip this over the edge, that would be all right.
Yep.
Because again, if you have a slower pace, it's just going to take the break a little bit more.
Yep.
I probably wouldn't play it that much, dude. I'd probably There's a little dark mark from this side here. I'd play it outside that.
Yep. I got it. All right.
And that's with a little bit of pace.
Put a little roll on it.
Yeah.
I'm planning on the ball. By the way, I'm always looking. If this is a clock, this is 6 o'clock, this is 12 o'clock. Where am I expecting this ball to enter the cup? And I'm saying this one's coming in at 7 o'clock. So it's not one of these big breakers that's going to come in at 9 o'clock, right? But this one's just going to come in just to the left of center. Let's see if we can put a good roll on it. This would be a pretty good one taker if we could knock it in, Mike.
You pushed it.
Get in.
You pushed it. I think it wiggled a little bit too.
I pushed it and I didn't hit it hard enough. But like I said, if that's the end result,
so again, if you hit that to here, that probably would have went in because it would have kept the line a little bit better.
Yep.
I mean, we did just punch 10 days ago. Not even. I think we punched, like 8 days ago. And
the greens are awesome, by the way.
Oh, they're amazing. I mean, he does such an amazing job here. But, you know, still a hair bumpy. Plus, it's 6 o'clock at night. So, ooh, so here's the deal. We're going to look at mine. Nah, we'll talk about that on the next hole because the next green is crazy. All right, I'm just going to make this birdie putt real quick. This is good, right?
Dude, it's a good-looking birdie putt. Now, put to use everything that you showed us.
All right, so line on the ball, on the line where I want to hit this. It's going to break a little left to right, not much. I want to baby this, so I'm going to play it one ball outside on the left edge. Birdie.
Great putt, dude.
Thank you. And it's kind of nice because I got this on there. And just to see that kind of going end over end, it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
America.
America.
All right, guys, now we are on 13. I just had a putt from up there coming down. This is not where I left it. I'm just, for video purposes, we're going to show you. Now we're going to show you how I read a green, for me anyway. Actually, we just ran into your daughter and her boyfriend. Her boyfriend just started playing golf.
Yep.
Joined the golf team. But he's a good baseball player. And we saw him putting, and he was just like putting.
Yeah. Like
not lining his ball up. So guys, there's a line on the ball. Use it to your advantage, right? So you got your ball marked. So we're gonna pull good old Pickles out here. All right. You got this line on the ball. Use it to line your ball up so that you have a general idea of being online. So that way you can take the line guesswork out and then worry about the speed. So I'm looking at this putt here. Obviously a good left to right, everything's sloping that way. One of the things that Adam didn't talk about was one of the things I look at, especially at a course where I don't know, like I haven't played there a bunch of times. Greens are designed a certain way they need to run off, right? The water needs to run off. So you always want to kind of look at that. You know, there's the sayings of like, oh, everything slopes to the ocean or everything slopes to the thruway here. Not always true. But greens do need to have places where water can run off. So you always kind of want to see that kind of stuff. This green is sloping hard left to right. You want to think about what I think about is if I was over here putting this way, how downhill that is. If I was over here putting this way and how uphill that is. And those are kind of things that I always take into account when I'm putting here. This is a little bit uphill and it's going to break. It's going to break kind of hard. So like I'm kind of feeling it out. And there's this, there's a ball mark tool out there that they have these little marks on it. It's like a half circle. And there's a straight mark, then there's a 1, 2, and a 3 to the left, and then there's a 1, 2, and a 3 to the right. I think that's a little too general for what we want to do here, but I'm picking a spot. I'm playing this about 2 feet out to the left. I see a ball mark here, and this is something that I always look at about a midway point, or like anywhere between a quarter of the way to 3/4 of the way, something I want to putt it over. So I'm going outside this mark. I'm looking actually up here towards this mark. So this is how far I'm playing this out. Again, this is all speed, so it is a little bit uphill till about 90% of the way. So I'd say till about here, and then it wants to kind of almost fall off and keep that speed going that way. Again, guys, there's kind of like a little bit of an art form to reading and green. You can't just get up there and just be like, all right, this is what it does. It really comes into a couple variables of how hard are you going to hit this? Where do you not want to miss it? Like I don't want to hit this 4 feet long and have a downhiller coming. So I'm just going to play this maybe just over the left edge of this mark, get it uphill 9/10 of the way, and then let it die. A little one take would be nice. And then I babied it. All right. I mean, read wasn't bad. I just didn't hit it hard enough. All that talking and then hit it like that is really good. Just hit it a little harder. Kind of like that. Not bad.
What was your mark?
I was kind of going outside that or over that. I don't think that was exactly where I was for the first time I putt, but yeah. That's a good putt.
That thing breaks a lot.
Yeah, it does, but then it kind of hangs up there. But listen, and then there's also like the different ways of talking. And we're gonna do a segment on like, I think we should do a bunch of shorts on golf lingo.
Ah, she hopped.
Yeah, it was a little hard. So golf lingo, so this cup, or this putt, to me is 2 feet left, right?
Yep.
It's 2 feet left, but if we use that mark, I'd say left edge of that mark, hammered. You know, if you're going to be a full cup outside, so that's here, you're aiming here, a full cup outside. If you're going to be 2 cups outside, you're aiming here. Okay? If you're going to be left edge, your aiming point is here, so that as it breaks, it comes into the center of the cup. Okay? 1 ball outside, you're aiming here. So think about this. If you're a full ball outside, your aim point is here. Okay? 2 balls, half a cup. There you go. Ooh. All right.
Speed and distance. Speed and distance.
And there, yeah. I mean, and those are the 2 variables. Yep. So use that line on your ball to get your.
So how many balls out would you consider it? Because 1, 2, 3 balls is a cup, right? So 1, 2, 3, that's one cup out.
So you never say 3 balls, you'd say
3,
a cup. That's 2 cups.
Right?
So after a cup,
yeah,
I wouldn't say a cup and a ball. I would say a little less than a cup and a half.
Yeah.
You know, then I'd say cup and a half, a little more than a cup and a half, and then 2 cups.
Yep.
And then to me, after 2 cups, it turns into a foot.
Yep.
You know, I'd say that's a little more than a foot right there.
Yep.
So I'd play. That's probably about right.
Might be.
Leave that ball right there.
Right there.
So now what we're doing is I'm taking the line on my ball and aiming it right at that.
Let's see if I can't use the.
Go ahead and say what you were going to say.
I was going to say if I couldn't use the shadows, but if that's the aiming point, knowing that it's not going to hit the ball. One of the mistakes I think a lot of amateur golfers make is when you say a cup out, a foot out, that all of a sudden their ball ends up there.
Yeah, yeah.
They readjust and all of a sudden the ball finishes there.
Yeah.
This is the aiming point, knowing that if I aim there, it's going to dive into here. But Mike always finds a line, something right along here, and it is. It's just on the outside of that ball mark.
So from where my ball is right now, it's just on the inside now because I think we moved this spot.
Yep.
But yeah, so I got to start it there, and to be honest, it's going to be a straight putt to here, and then it's going to start breaking.
Yep.
So I should, I mean, maybe give or take a little bit, but I should be rolling over that spot. Yep. And that's how I read putts for you is something that you need to roll over in order for the second half of the putt to do its thing.
Also, you know, we talk speed and distance.
Yeah.
This is pretty consistent about how sloped it is. But it's going to break less in the beginning because of the amount of speed and more, and you can see it right there, and more at the end as it slows down, it's going to break more. So, you know, again, you're looking at the mark, the distance, you're putting it outside, you're catching the mark, but then you got to get it to the ball, to the hole.
One of the things that I do when I'm struggling with like speed and distance or feel for the greens is I do that little Tuesday tip that we talked about one time is I pretend I have a ball in my hand, and however hard that I would need to throw and roll it to that cup, and whatever weight my arm needs to do. And in Canada and like the UK, they say weight. So like when you lag a putt up there and you get it kind of like pin high, they're like, oh, good weight. I don't really know what that means.
I don't know. Good lag?
Tell us but it's like they say good weight, like kilograms or whatever they're saying.
Stones.
They say good weight, like
40 stones.
Good speed. I don't see. We say good speed. They say good weight.
Okay.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
Somebody told me once. I caddied for them one time, and they told me, and I don't really remember. So here's what you want to do on like what my arm would need to do if I needed to throw the ball to the hole and throw and roll it. I would say it would throw it to here and then roll the rest of the way. I would just do that. And then that's the same feel I need to do with the putter. And I still can't get that ball to the hole. On that speed, I need to start that higher.
Yep. We got one coming up behind us. Ooh. One of us has got to make this the tough putt.
That is a tough
And you're walking in for dramatic effect.
All right, we'll get to another green.
You know, kind of the last couple of things that we wanted to talk about tonight is, you know, those are regular everyday putts. I mean, the second one, the one that you were putting, is more extreme. It's a 2-foot break.
Yeah.
Not that extreme.
Yeah.
You play Ness, you play Augusta, you play, Oakmont. You're going to get some crazy
die course.
Yeah, you get some crazy undulation. So what's your advice for hitting double breakers?
Well, so you got the double breakers and then you got the extreme putts. And I think that's where imagination that we were talking about earlier comes through. This hole especially because we got almost 3 levels here, but it's mainly 2 big ones where you're going to have a double breaker. And you were saying this on the last screen, how like the first half of that putt is going to have some speed to it.
Yep.
To where it's not going to break as much as that second half. So you have to calculate that in. I remember having a triple breaker for a guy that I was reading one time, and he was like, Mike, he's like, tell me what this putt does. And he's like, this is for the match. He's like, I'm going to win a lot of money here. I'm like, and I remember his name was Pat. I said, Pat, I'm sitting down reading it from each side. It's a triple breaker. And I was like, Pat, you got to play it straight, dude. He was like, are you serious? I'm like, it's this, and then it's going to come. And I'm like, play it straight. He was like, you sure? And this guy's 62, 63.
Yeah.
He hit this putt straight, and it drains it. He turned around, picked me up. Dude, he lifted me up.
That's crazy. So let me ask you a question, though. I mean, it's not always straight, but I've always heard double breakers that you should play straight. I mean,
obviously, if they cancel each other out, yeah. But again, you're talking about, you know, something here, right? You're going to have something going up of this hill here going one way, and then once it gets to the top, it actually goes the other way. You really just have to, you almost have to subtract the difference, or do, you know, whatever the difference is, you know what I mean?
Is this where you put like the math stuff? You know,
yeah, you kind of, yeah, definitely. Because, so the first half of this hill is going to go a little left, right? Just a little left. But the top half is going to go a little bit more right.
Yeah.
So just what's the difference?
But the speed going up the hill and in the beginning of the putt, it's not going to break nearly as much, and it's going to slow down, and the back end's going to be more
extreme. So again, that's where the imagination and a little bit of math is coming into play, to where if the front half is going to go a little left because you're hitting it harder, but the top half is going to go a lot right, that's a lot more difference that you're going to have to play onto the other side.
So this is the one thing that I don't think gets brought up enough when we talk about putting. You talk about imagination, we talk about feel, but I'm talking more about athleticism. And you know, we're not running a marathon here. We're not we're not climbing a rock wall or anything like that. But I think, you know, the same athleticism that allows you to shoot a free throw allows you to putt a good putt.
Well, you know, and it's been talked about by a couple people on channels and stuff like that, to where you don't do these things when you're shooting a free throw, right? It's an athletic move. It's practice. It's feel, right? Same thing here, right? Like, you know, Bryce.
Let's just do it.
Yeah.
You take the ball.
That's too much. I knew right away when you threw it that was too much.
It's not bad.
You want that putt coming back?
But without thinking about it, with just tossing the ball, that's too much too. Nice break. All right. But like I said, did you think about how you held it in your hand?
No.
Did you think about arm position? Did you think about your breathing technique? Was there anything that you thought about whatsoever? No. So what's the difference when you hold the freaking club?
I know, right? Dude. I think the only difference, and because I thought about this, because I try not to get like this, but when you break it down, like, when you're shooting a free throw, that ball's in your hand.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're throwing a football, baseball, it's in your hand, so you feel it, right? This, you just have this other instrument that's just like this middleman between you and the ball.
Yeah.
So realistically, you have to have feel with this thing.
Yeah.
Like it is something in here that is all has to become you. Yeah. You know what I mean? That's the only difference. And another thing with the free throws, just to kind of touch base back on it, is you're not looking at the ball in your hand while you're shooting a free throw, right?
Yeah.
You're looking there.
Yeah.
Why don't we look there?
So I was just talking to a pro, and he was saying that's one of the things that he noticed that a lot of playing professionals do, like PGA Tour pros, Korn Ferry guys, is they line up the ball using the alignment device on there. They take a couple of practice swings. They look at the cup. They look down and they putt through the ball. Yeah. You know, so
but they're envisioning that.
They're envisioning that. But the eye-hand coordination, you still have to be able to hit the middle of the ball with the middle of the club.
Yep. With a square face.
With a square face. Yep. So you know, that is technique, but they do it pretty quick. You know, they line it up. They take a couple of practice swings. They look at the hole. They look down and they drain the.
Bryson actually came out with this video not too long ago where he's hitting a shot with his eyes closed.
Okay.
Just because of that feel, right? Like Michael Jordan shot that free throw with his eyes closed.
Yep.
Same concept of like that muscle feel. Yeah. You know, it's just like you ingrained it so much into your, I don't know, your nervous system that it's you. Like, this is now an extended piece of your arm to where you know right where that's going to be. Yep. Try it one time, dude. We're going to have to go in the backyard.
Exactly.
You want to hit a eyes closed shot on this hole?
We'll go hit an eyes closed shot right now.
All right, deal.
All right.
All right, we'll videotape how that goes, and we'll put it out as a short.
All right, there you go.
All right.
Well, like I said, I think we did a nice job today. Again,
there's so much more we could do.
Oh, you could talk about it for hours, but I think that's a really good introduction, especially if you're struggling. By the way, if Jamie Paddock, this entire thing was for you. The entire thing, okay?
And Aaron.
And Aaron, we're going to send this to you.
And you on your bad days.
Occasionally, man, I have a hard time reading greens.
Yeah, sometimes you just have. Some days you don't.
Yep.
Sometimes it's like, for me, I will tell you, I love fast greens. Slow greens are a little tough for me because then I just got to get a little bit more oomph in it. But those in-between ones sometimes get me, man. Or if you have inconsistent
Here was something I was thinking the other day. You guys realize what the stemp or the speed of a green is? It's literally a ramp. They roll a ball down it, and however far it rolls out, that many feet, that's the stemp for the day. So what's the difference between 8 and 12 on the stemp meter? 8 is relatively slow.
Yeah.
12 is lightning fast, but it's only 4-foot difference. So if I have a 10-foot putt, right?
Yeah.
And it's a 10 on the stemp meter, and I put it exactly perfect.
Yep.
I'm going to be right on the hole.
Yep.
If it's a 12, lightning fast.
Yeah.
How far am I going to be past the hole?
2 feet past.
If that's all though.
Yeah.
Right? That's it.
Yeah.
Right? If it's slow, I'm going to be 2 feet short.
But if it was an 8, or if it was an 8, I don't know, whatever that math is, but you'd be 4 feet by. You know what I mean? Like, and that's not good.
No,
4 feet's not
no.
gimme, you know?
But that's what I'm saying is it shouldn't be that big of a difference, you know?
Yeah, you're right.
You know, it shouldn't be. But believe me.
It is.
Well, Hurting in Woodstock, I gave those greens too much credit, couldn't make a putt all day.
Yep.
You know, because they're too fast, too fast.
And sometimes, you know, your putting green might be a little quicker than the real greens. So there's so much we can talk about. But that's good for today.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, I'm Adam.
I'm Mike.
Just the tips.
Yo!